everybody? Chaos Gamer here, and yes, we are not only back on My Hero Ultra Rumble, we are back on the recording side of things. In today's video, we are going to be recording the Season 18 patch notes, taking a look what they added in terms of buff and nerfs, and also some features that we hopefully get the one feature that we always ask for, which is before a match starts, we can leave the team. Please, I am begging at this point. I'm on my knees. Give us that already. But with that being said, let's not waste any more time. Let's blow this shit right the hell up. And ladies and gentlemen, let us get started with today's video. And you can let me know down below how do you feel about these characters that got buffed, /nerfs, and all the other things they added into the game. So let's get started. Throughout the maintenance update on July 29th, we made the following changes. New addition, the new stage Chaos City version 2 has been added, which looks cool, I'm not gonna lie. So stages rotate every 5 hours. You got Chaos City version 2 going to be the 2-hour map. Then followed by USJ version 3, UA Island version 2, and Neo Academia 1 hour each. Of course, tutorial, training, and custom will not be affected by these time adjustments on the maps. Added a new feature to view logs for damage dealt and damage received. This feature can be accessed by switching tabs in the system menu during battle. That is cool because, as you know, with people in this game, when they are doing combos, they want to see how much exactly that combo is doing. So in order to maximize the amount of damage that they are doing to the opponent. Added a feature to view details about each game rule on the game mode selection screen. Launched a 28 login bonus campaign to celebrate surpassing 20 million downloads. Added UI elements to the roll screen, specifically the tuning slot information window, allowing players to view details on costumes other than the original color versions. Then we got the research notebook. Mission number 3 has been added. Deal over 10,000 damage with each battle style. Achieve over 12 KOs with each battle style. Deal over 15,000 damage in a single battle, regardless of battle styles. And achieve 16 KOs in a single battle, regardless of battle styles. How in the hell? That's crazy. Players can obtain special nameplates by completing these missions. Okay. We got the system adjustments. Adjust to show the total value for certain attacks where damage amounts were previously not being aggregated. I guess that's what they're saying. Enable inventory management while using items even when playing with a controller. Updated the visual effects when simultaneously recovering GP and HP to max out for easier visual recognition. Adjust the matchmaking logic to make it easier to match with players of similar ranks. Okay, so we did that again. So now we got the battle style adjustments. Okay, let's see what's going to be happening here. So the following are quirk skills to allow for carrying down players. Wait, updated the following quirk skills to allow for carrying down players? What? Wait. Time out. Hold on. How the hell is this going to work? Bakugo, the red one, howitzer impact. The cluster is gamma as well. Uraraka's beta, Kirishima's alpha, Aizawa's beta, the original one. All for one's gamma factor fusion, I'll punch you. The following quirk skills have been adjusted so that they can now be deflected by shield type quirks. Okay. Wait, what? I'm so confused right now on what the hell they're trying to say. Okay, so updated the following quirk skills to allow for carrying down players, and then what is going on? I'm so confused right now. What? And now the following quirk skills have been adjusted so that they can now be deflected by shield type quirks. So you're telling me before that this couldn't be blocked? Okay, the Calera stopped normal state when falling. Alt Might's Gatling Arizona smash when falling. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, I see. Because these are AoE attacks. Okay, like the ones that they spread out on the ground. I understand now. Got it. One for all Midoriya's beta. Thank God, that was so stupid. And his gamma as well. Kirishima, the gamma red burst, the original one. Overhaul, original. Wait, are these the patch notes now? What? This is what I'm talking about. Like, okay, now we're just getting into the patch notes side of things. Like, what? They should have put this for last. I'm not gonna lie. I think it should have been the original patch notes first. Then they should have put these for last. I'm not gonna hold you. So let's start off with the original overhaul. So they increased the range of its alpha. The beta, they increased the falling speed. And the gamma, they increased the falling speed. The reason for the adjustment is as the battle style lacked options for attacking airborne opponents, the range of quirk skill alpha extended in order to make combat easier. I like that because that is true. We all know this. When it comes to these opponents flying up as high as they can, overhaul is not going to be able to hit them at all. And the falling speed was also increased to allow for quicker use of the quirk skill beta and gamma while airborne. Next, we got the original Twice. Interesting that they decided to buff him because we all know that after Gentle Criminal in 2 weeks, we are getting the Twice Quirk Skill set. So Quirk Skill Beta Self-Duplicate added an HP gauge displayed above clone. I mean, that's cool. Always having more information is nice. But for me personally, it's like, I don't know. I don't really care like that because I know for the most part they're just going to get one-shotted. Gamma Quirk Skill Foot Boost. Increase the gauge amount and then they increase the reload speed. Special action Mad Imitation. Added an HP gauge displayed the above clones. This is going to have to do with the Quirk Skill set. Reason for the adjustment. An HP display for clones was added to make it easier for players to estimate how long each clone is able to fight after spawning. The gauge amount and reload speed for Quirk Skill Gamma were also increased, allowing for enhanced mobility and making it easier to maneuver during combat. Which I really do want to test it out because, as you guys know, I really do like using Twice. I feel like Twice is a great character to use. I still got original Bakugo, Quirk Skill Alpha AP shot that decided to increase the range. Quirk Skill Beta improvised grenades adjusted to allow for cancellation by using Quirk Skill Beta again while the skill is active. And then Quirk Skill Gamma, they decreased the damage dealt during the spinning charge. Why? I mean, that did do a lot of damage, I'm not gonna lie, but you know, it's kind of like you have to kind of get close in a way to even try to hit the Gamma, so I didn't even mind. Like, it took like a kind of effort to make sure you try to hit the Gamma. It's not like some bullshit Kaminari where he just auto tracks you, boom. You just get dealt so much damage. Due to the rise of characters who excel in aerial combat, the range of Quirk Skill Alpha was extended, which is good. So, I mean, why not just buff every character that has their range diminished in a way? Like, what's another character? Quirk Skill 7 Midoriya, the red one? Like, why not just make it aware it's a whole list of the following characters have been buffed on their Quirk Skill Alphas due to the meta of aerial characters. Like, I felt like that would have been a better way to show it, but okay. Quirk Skill Beta was also adjusted to make it easier to land consecutive hits to maintain balance of damage inflicted, where Quirk Skill Gamma was reduced as previous adjustments had made it easier to land a full string of, damn, I can't even speak, full string of hits. Which is true though, because remember, it has been a minute since I have spoken in a video, so this is that whole bullshit that happened with my voice. Dabi, Quirk Skill Gamma Crazy Torch, just so that the massive explosion can be triggered manually by holding down the button. Ooh. This is way better, and this is gonna be crazy. Because imagine, right? You basically get the countdown all the way to 0%, and then you want to hold it for when you go inside the building. Boom! And just massive explosion right there. Because for the most part, what does cook this Dabi is just that you can activate it anywhere, and some opponents can just take advantage of that for the most part. And that just sucks right there, because you do stop for that 1 second, and then you just let it go. Honestly, some interesting trick that you can do as well. You use purple off for one when, you know, you suck them in, that stupid annoying move. And then you can activate the Gamma. That's going to be annoying. Remove the initial self-damage taken upon activation. Continuous self-damage during activation remained unchanged. Okay. In order to make the battle style more user-friendly, the initial self-damage taken when using Quirk Skill Gamma has been removed, as this had previously discouraged players from using it. The massive explosion can now be manually triggered, where previously it was only triggered when the gauge was 0. Note that the continuous self-damage taken while the skill is active will still occur, which makes sense because this is the Dabi that, you know, I mean, Dabi has always been that character when he does use his flames, it does hurt him, but this is the Dabi that does it even more. So next we got original Hawks, decreased damage during normal use, enhanced tracking during normal use, and then reduce the rapid fire speed during normal use, and then reduce the gauge. This is interesting because he already did less damage, so the fact that they're making him do lesser damage, that's crazy. Then with his beta, they increased slashing damage during free flight. The reason for this adjustment is that tracking performance of Quirk Skill Alpha during standard use has been enhanced, allowing players to more easily hit the opponents who are dashing. Which I always said it like day one Hawks when he came out, that tracking was insane. So one of the patch notes, I bet they did like a shadow nerf on it to make it where it wasn't easy to track anymore, but I guess now they're buffing it again. To maintain balance, the damage output has also been reduced. Which I'm assuming at this point, like, what is it going to do? Like, if you don't have enhance on that, like, what? Like, 9, 8? It's going to be so good. Additionally, the slashing attack of the Quirk Skill Beta offer little reward relative to the difficulty involved landing a hit. So damage value has been increased to improve balance. Now, how much damage did you buff it by? That's what we're going to have to figure out a little bit later. Ida, reciprocal burst, increased dash distance and attack range. Okay, like that arc needed to be more better. I feel like it did not. Reason for the adjustment. Both travel distance and attack range of Quirk Skill Beta were increased with the aim of improving damage output and survivability. Next, we got Shinso, who, I'm not gonna lie, the last time I used him, it's kind of crazy how much his damage got nerfed by, but let's see. Just to do increased damage with slamming an opponent down from a high position. Reason for this adjustment were made in order to create a strategic advantage when landing Quirk Skill Alpha on airborne opponents and to enhance the satisfaction of slamming them into the ground. I like that. Whoever wrote this one, I like that. Mount Lady, the Spike Knuckle, adjusts to allow for continuous attacks by holding down the button. That's good. I like that. Special action Gigantification adjusts the camera view while gigantified. Quirk Skill Alpha and the special action were adjusted to improve their usability. Makes sense. Next, we got Mystical Press. Special action Magic Resurrection. Increase HP recovery amount while carrying an ally. Just to make it easier to transition from aerial melee to ground melee attack. Reason for this adjustment, the recovery rate was increased from 5 to 20 HP per second to better facilitate the character's support role, while also improving the usability of melee attacks. That is interesting. So, damn. That's gonna probably make people want to use Compress even more now as a support character, because it's good. The ability to make it a way you just keep them in the ball and then just like you just get to move around. Imagine if they buffed this Gamma as well. Oh my god. Next, we got Toga with her special action Transform, just to prevent the transformation from ending while using a Quirk skill. Reason for the adjustment, we observe a tendency for transformation to end prematurely while a Quirk skill was still active, so adjustments were made to improve usability. Next, we got Common. Yo, they can't go 1 second. I promise you, they cannot go 1 second without making this character better. I don't understand why. And this freaking bullshit of the... Oh, wait, hold on. Wait, actually, time out. Hold on. Okay, I saw it. Alright, never mind. Okay. I just were made for balance, as the time required for the Quirk skill could be used again was longer than that of the other battle styles. Wait. Oh, I'm stupid. Wait, my bad. Okay. I just said something wrong. I said increase, thinking that it was faster when it was decreased that's faster. Sometimes that gets confusing. My bad. I'm sorry. Again, it's been a while since we did something like this. I'm sorry. Forgive me, please. I am correcting myself on that. Alright, next we got Kaminari Original. They reduced the damage on the Alpha, and they adjusted to make it easier to knock back opponents. A trend was observed where players would stun an opponent with Quirk Skill Gamma before following up with several hits of Quirk Skill Alpha to instantly knock down opponents, particularly those with 250 HP or less. As a result, Quirk Skill Alpha, a primary source of direct damage, has been adjusted. Yes, thank you, please. Kaminari Lightning, his Gamma, adjusted to now grant super armor upon hitting an opponent. Reason for the adjustment, by granting super armor upon a successful hit, it will now be easier to land successive attacks on multiple opponents. Interesting. Lady Nagan Quirk Skill Alpha Hollow Point Shot, reduce damage and reduce ammo count. Quirk Skill Beta High Angle Fire, they reduce the damage. And then Quirk Skill Gamma Kickback Shot, reduce ground damage, reduce ammo count to level 9 to 1. And then reduce reload speed. And then her special action Scope Mode, they reduce the damage. And then aerial melee attack, they reduce forward movement speed. Yeah, this is going to be a lot to say because this was needed. Despite multiple previous adjustments, both usage and win rates remain significantly higher compared to other battle styles, promoting a comprehensive rebalancing. A behavior was also identified where chaining aerial melee attacks allowed for faster movement than a standard dash, so movement speed was also adjusted to align with other battle styles. Again, this character was just absolutely crazy. She was doing way too much, so I'm glad they toned it down. Let's see about Quirk Skills. I'm sorry, not Quirk Skills. I'm sorry. One for All Midoriya. So they reduced his HP to 250. His Alpha, they reduced the ammo count. That's it. At the start of Season 17, an enhancement to the super armor effect was implemented, resulted in higher average damage and a higher win rate compared to other battle styles. Given this battle style's high mobility and proficiency at hiding via special action, we reduced HP to 250 to improve balance. Adjustment also made to reload speed for Quirk Skill Alpha, a primary source of direct damage, to reduce its frequency of use. Kurogiri, his Beta, Warp Gate, adjusts so that opponents in an invincible state are unable to be warped. Okay. It's kind of crazy. I understand, but damn. The Kurogiri got nerfed. We observed that a specific tactic that was becoming overly powerful, which involved repeatedly hitting an opponent with Quirk Skill Beta to knock them back and trigger invincibility before warping them outside the safe zone area to KO them via zone damage. The adjustment was implemented to reduce the frequency of such occurrence. Alright, next we got Armored All Might, Quirk Skill Alpha. They reduced the damage. Interesting. Real quick before we read this, I'm just going to take a sip of water. because I am starting feeling on my voice, I'm not going to lie. Reason for the adjustment, the battle style tends to have a higher average damage and a higher win rate compared to other technical role battle styles. In response, some adjustments were made to make Corkscrew Alpha a primary source of direct damage while maintaining the same gameplay feel. This is already crazy because they did nerf his damage before, but they made it even less. Alright, Lemillion, the Quirk skill set Alpha Phantom Smash, reduce the damage. The battle style tends to have a higher average damage and higher survivability across all rank tiers. In response, some adjustments were made to the Quirk skill Alpha, which allowed for quickly dealing damage in a short window while maintaining the same gameplay feel. It's not enough in my personal opinion. I feel like for both Lemillions, they gotta get nerfed like crazy. They are just way too good at surviving all the way to the end. I always call it out that in the finals, you will have a 80 to 90% chance you will see a Lemillion because of how free it is for this character to just go around and do what he wants and for the most part escape. Like unless you're chasing him down like insane, for the most part he's just gonna escape and do what he wants. Next we have Bakugo Cluster, Quirk Alpha AP Shock Cluster. Increase the ammo amount count, and then they also increase damage during normal use. Quirk Beta Nitro Cluster, they increase the damage, and then Quirk Alpha, Quirk Gamma, increase ammo count at level 9. While Quirk Alpha deals significant damage to ammo by comparison to damage output of other easy to hit skills was low, making it difficult to knock back opponents. To create a more user-friendly battle style, overall damage output was increased, and late game mobility performance has been improved. That is good, for sure. We got some bug fixes. Shinso, fix an issue where attacks will sometimes fail to connect when canceling a finishing attack against a down opponent. One for All Midoriya, fix an issue where canceling a ground melee attack by dodging will sometimes allow the ground melee attack to chain again. We hope you continue to enjoy My Hero Ultra Rumble. So that is everything on the website that we do, but we do have to take a look at the Discord to see the certain values that things got buffed / nerfed by. So we'll be right back with that ready to go. I'm going to take another break real quick before we just start that. Now that the break is done, let's take a look at the values in the patch notes that got specifically buffed / nerfed by. So we're starting off with One for All Midoriya, which we already knew it went down to 650 HP. But here we go with the damage on the Gamma. So it goes down from 4.0 to 1. Same thing with the Garbage as well. So on level 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I know. Yeah, congratulations, Little John. You did the hand motions. I'm proud of you. 8 and 9, all of it just goes down from 4 to 1. Next, we got Cluster. His damage and guard break goes from 30 to 40. At level 2, it goes from 31 to 41. At level 3, it goes from 32 to 42. At level 4, it goes from 34 to 44. At level 5, it goes from 35 to 45. At level 6, it goes from 36 to 46. At level 7, it goes from 37 to 47. At level 8, it goes from 38 to 48. And at level 9, it goes from 40 to 50. Next, we got the Beta. The damage and the guard break goes from 30 to 35 at level 1. At level 2, it goes from 31 to 36. At level 3, it goes from 32 to 37. At level 4, it goes from 34 to 39. At level 5, it goes from 35 to 40. At level 6, it goes from 36 to 41. At level 7, it goes from 37 to 42. At level 8, it goes from 38 to 43. And then at level 9, 40 to 45. This one is going to be the explosion follow-up damage. So this one goes from 40 to 44. 40, I think these are the same numbers if I'm not mistaken. Actually, no, okay, these are a little bit higher. Yeah, okay, so 41 to 46. Level 3, it goes from 42 to 48. At level 4, it goes from 44 to 50. At level 5, it goes from 45 to 52. At level 6, it goes from 46 to 54. At level 7, it goes from 47 to 56. At level 8, it goes from 48 to 58. And then level 9 is from 50 to 60. Kaminari, please let this damage be cut by 60 to 80%. I'm begging you. Alright, so Electro Target. The damage goes from 55 to 54. From 1? The down power goes from 50 to 100. What? Congratulations, 1 less damage. Oh my god. Next, we have level 2, which is going to be from 60 to 56. Okay, interesting. Level 3 goes from 65 to 58. At level 7, it goes from 70 to 60. Okay, now we're starting to see the numbers go down a lot. Level 5 goes from 72 to 62. 72 to 62. Sorry if I said 75 to 62. But 72 to 62. At level 6, it goes from 74 to 64. At level 7, it goes from 76 to 66. At level 8, it goes from 78 to 68. At level 9, it goes from 80 to 70. What? just like, I don't know. Because I feel like he's still going to hit like a truck. What the hell? Am I crazy? Alright, next we got Lemillion Quirk skill set on his shot on the alpha. So at level 1 it goes from 40 to 36. At level 2 it goes from 41 to 37. At level 3 it goes from 42 to 38. At level 4 it goes from 43 to 39. At level 5 it goes from 44 to 40. At level 6 it goes from 45 to 41. At level 7 it goes from 46 to 42. At level 8 it goes from 47 to 43. Then at level 9 it goes from 48 to 44. Next we got Armored All Might. So now his damage and guard break at level 1 goes from 52 to 48, specifically on the burn. Level 2 goes from 54 to 50. Level 3 goes from 56 to 52. At level 4 goes from 58 to 54. Level 5 it goes from 60 to 55. At level 6 it goes from 62 to 56. At level 7 it goes from 64 to 57. At level 8 it goes from 66 to 58. And then level 9 it goes from 68 to 60. Next we got Hawks on his alpha when it comes to the homing. Damage goes from 14 to 12. This is crazy. At level 4. Level 5 it goes from 14 to 12. At level 6 it goes from 14 to 12. Is it all 14 to 12? No, okay. At level 9 it goes from 18 to 14. But basically no damage. Now the beta with the melee. So damage is increasing from 90 to 100. At level 2 is going 95 from 105. At level 3 goes from 100 to 110. At level 4 is going from 110 to 120. At level 5 is going from 115 to 125. At level 6 is going from 120 to 130. At level 7 is going from 125 to 135. At level 8 it goes from 130 to 140. And then finally at level 9 it goes from 135 to 150. Now the moment we've been waiting for. Let me take a swig at this because I'm definitely hyped for this. Lady Nagant. Starting off with the Alpha. Hollow point shot on hit. Shot after follow-up. Damage goes from 1 through 3, 6 to 3. Levels 1 through 3, my bad. 6 to 3. Level 4 through 8, it goes from 8 to 4. And then level 9, it goes from 10 to 5. Now we got the shooting part of it. So the damage and guard break is going to be decreasing from 47 to 35. Level 2 is going to go from 49 to 36. At level 3, like, I'm hoping I'm not saying level 6 every time instead of level 2. If I am, I'm sorry. Level 3 it goes from 51 to 37. At level 4 it goes from 53 to 39. At level 5 it goes from 55 to 40. At level 6 is going from 57 to 41. At level 7 it goes from 59 to 42. At level 8 it goes from 61 to 43. And then at level 9, 63 to 45. Next we got the beta of the high angle fire arc on hit. The damage and guard break going from 25 to 20. Level 2 is going from 26 to 21. At level 3 is going from 27 to 22. At level 4 goes from 29 to 24. At level 5 goes from 30 to 25. At level 6 it goes from 31 to 26. At level 7 it goes from 32 to 27. At level 8 it goes from 33 to 28. And then at level 9 it goes from 35 to 30. Next we got the gamma kickback shot, spread shot, ground. At level 1, the ground, sorry, not the ground. The damage in the guard break, I said ground because I saw the gamma ground. Goes from 120 to 100. At level 2 it goes from 124 to 103. At level 3 it goes from 128 to 106. At level 4 it goes from 136 to 110. Level 5 it goes from 140 to 113. At level 6 it goes from 144 to 116. Level 7 it goes from 148 to 119. At level 8 it goes from 152 to 122. And then at level 9 it goes from 160 to 125. That is insane the amount of damage it got decreased by. You guys see that? Let me say that again. 152 to 122 and then 160 to 125. I ran out of water, but also what the fuck is that? That is insane. As we got the special action scope mode, action shooting. Damage goes from 150 to 125. Special action scope mode, action shooting headshot. This goes from 280 to 230. I think the one more thing they need to do for this to be like truly balanced. And this is because of the new Just a Criminal as well, because everybody's like, whoa, he basically gets a plus ultra, whoa. But guess what? There are characters like Shigaraki, which it makes sense for Shigaraki, but there are also characters like Nagant, who's not only shooting your shield, but she is also shooting your HP as well. Get rid of that shit. She doesn't need that at all. Alright, next we got Wolf for All Midoriya's magazine change. So his ammo goes from 6 to 5, from 1 to 3. Then we have from 4 to 8 is going from 7 to 6. Sorry, buddies, not the other way around. Then at level 9 is going from 8 to 7. Next we got Bakugo with his magazine change. At 1 through 3 it goes from 4 to 5. Level 4 through 8 it goes from 5 to 6. And then at level 9 it goes to... No, they didn't do it. Yes, from 6 to 7. Yeah, you got it. Alright, the gamma, so the ammo went from 1 to 2, but the reload time increased from 7 to 8, and the penalty reload time goes from 7 to 11. Next, we got Kaminari. So his penalty reload goes from 14 to 9. And we got Kenda with her gamma, changes found from the penalty span from level 1 to 3. Her penalty span goes from 1 to 2 now. Next, we got Hawks, his ammo count. It goes from 40 to 30 at level 1. At level 2, it goes from 41 to 31. At level 3, it goes from 42 to 32. At level 4, it goes from 44 to 34. At level 5, it goes from 45 to 35. At level 6, it goes from 46 to 36. Level 7 goes from 47 to 37. At level 8, it goes from 48 to 38. And then at 9, it goes from 50 to 40. Next, you got twice his gamma, the foot boot. The reload time from level 1 through 3. Actually, those are all levels. Yes, all. Oh, sorry, not all. All levels, yes, when it comes from reload time. So it goes from 5 to 4, but then at level 9, he has his ammo go up to 4, and then penalty reload time goes from 6 to 8. Next, we got Nagant on 1 through 3. Her ammo goes from 6 to 5. At 4 through 8, it goes from 7 to 6, and then 9, it goes from 8 to 7. Next, we got Gamma. So the reload time on this from 7 to 9 on the reload time and penalty reload time. Level 2. 7 to 9 again at 3, 7 to 9. From 4 through 8 is going to be from 5 to 8. And then at level 9, her ammo goes down to 1. The reload time goes from 5 to 7. And then the penalty reload time goes from 8 to 7. So no changes when it comes to normal tuning. No changes when it comes to special tuning. But new content added since version 1.6.3. Tomohiro Shigaraki's beta ground destruction body impact level 1 through 9. Gentle Criminal, his Gently Arrow, 1 through 9. Okay, what is all of this stuff? I feel like none of this stuff we have to look at. I don't think this is anything for us at all. Alright, so with that is where we're ending today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Be sure to like and comment if you want to. You don't have to, but it's always really appreciated. Also, subscribe. Also, it's greatly appreciated from every single one of you. I love you guys so much that we have made it to 5,000 subscribers. Surprisingly that I'm still getting subs while I was gone for like 2 weeks getting the whole voice thing fixed. I'm gonna be honest, I still don't think that I'm 100%. I don't know. It's just like after I talk for a few, it's just like I kind of feel a little bit in my throat unless I'm drinking water. And I don't want to have to pause the video of me drinking water. But yeah, it's just crazy. Like I really appreciate every single one of you for us getting to this point. I'm just going to make sure that no matter what, I can provide you guys the best content that I can. So with that, I'll see y'all next time. Peace.